everybody, Mr. Murrow here, and in this lesson 3.2 we're going to be adding and subtracting algebraic expressions. Remember way back when we were doing chapter 1, right? And I said these rules for adding and subtracting integers, you're going to need them. Well, we need them for algebraic expressions. Alright, let's go ahead and start this in 3, 2, 1. Yep, let's do this. Alright, so let's go ahead and get started for the topic. Our topic for today is going to be 3.2, adding and subtracting algebraic expressions, our standard 7EE 1 and 2. Our essential question is as follows. How do you add or subtract a linear expression? So, most of you don't know what a linear expression is, but you will by the end of this lesson. So let's go on and take a look at our objective for this section. And it is as follows. Okay, this is what you should be able to do at the end of this lesson. 1, I can add linear expressions. 2 is I can subtract linear expressions. And finally, I can add linear expressions using the distributive property. Okay, so for this section, you do have 2 vocabulary terms. The first one is a linear expression and a nonlinear expression, okay? So I'm just going to give you an example of what each one is. So basically, a linear expression is any expression where the variable is to the power of 1. Okay, so power of 1. Nonlinear is the power 2 or more. And before your brains explode going, oh my god, I don't understand what that means, this is what it means. Okay, so in this section we're going to be doing expressions where we have various variables. So let's say, for instance, x plus or negative minus 5. Okay, what we're saying is that a linear expression does not have an unknown value or a variable that is to the power of 2. So the moment you see that it's to the power 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or 7, it's no longer a linear expression. Okay, so we could have b plus 5. We say this is a linear expression because the b is to the power of 1. Okay, now a nonlinear, that would be when we start dealing with stuff with stuff to the power of 2 or more. So x squared plus 3, that is what we refer to as a non-linear expression. And that's simply what this is. Once again, linear, the variable is to the power of 1, and non-linear, you have a variable with to the power of either 2 or more. Okay, so that's pretty much it. Okay, so the first example we're going to do is adding expressions. We have x minus 2 plus the sum of 3x plus 8. Okay, so before I can do, I got to get these numbers out of the parentheses. So let me grab my marker and let's get this rolling. So we'll do this one. Okay. So the first things first is I'm looking at the parentheses x minus 2. There's nothing in front of it, so it tells me that I could just simply get rid of those parentheses. So I'm just going to write x minus 2 plus. So now there's nothing in here either. So because we got a positive out here, so positive times a positive here is still going to be a positive 3x. So technically when I see that, since it's addition right here, I could get rid of this. I could get rid of those parentheses and just write it as 3x plus 8 in this example. Okay, so next step is we gotta combine like terms. What does that mean? Basically, I'm grouping these so that I group them together. So we got here, let me grab my handy dandy highlighter. Let me see with just a free hand. So first things first, I see an x right there. I see a positive 3x. Those are like terms. Okay, the next one that I see is negative 2 and positive 8. Those are like terms. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to rewrite everything so that way it makes my life a little easier, and I would suggest you do the same thing. So we're going to go x plus 3x minus 2 plus 8. All I've done is just reorder them so that everything that I determined to be like terms, they're grouped together. This is where I really, oops, sorry, should not use that marker. Let me see, undo, because I forgot to use my highlighter. Epic fail. So I got that part, x plus 3x, and then I'm going to, this is why I was saying in my classes it's probably a good idea to have a highlighter, so it makes your life so much easier. And now that I reorganized it, now I could just combine my like terms, okay? So I go x plus 3x. Well, wait a minute, Murrow, there's nothing in front of that x. Remember, when you see a coefficient, when you see a variable by itself like x, a 1, an imaginary 1, is technically your coefficient. So technically this should be a 1x is what that is. But we typically do not write a coefficient of 1. So we go 1 plus 3. So remember, since there's no symbol, we assume that this is a positive 1. Okay? So 1 plus 3 gives me, and I'm going to switch my color. 1 plus 3 gives me 4. And I keep the variable 4x, and then I ask myself, okay, well, is it going to still be negative or positive? Well, positive and a positive, that's still going to stay positive. Then I got to combine these here. Okay, this is what I said in chapter 1. If the signs are the same, we add and keep the sign. But if the signs are not the same, we're going to subtract them. So I'm going to subtract the smallest from the biggest. 8 minus 2 gives me 6. And keep the sign of the biggest absolute value. Well, the biggest absolute value in this case is my 8. So that's going to stay as positive. I'm going to keep the symbol, or excuse me, my answer is going to be positive 6. Okay, so my final expression is 4x plus 6 because I cannot make it any simpler. That's your answer. Okay, let's move on to the next one. All right, so on the next example, we're going to be adding expressions using the distributive property. So what does that mean? That means that I need to multiply the negative 2 to all the terms inside of those parentheses. Okay, so what I need to do is first go negative 2 times a positive 7b. So a negative times a positive will give me a negative. 7 times 2 gives me 14b. And then I do repeat the process. Negative times a positive gives me a negative. And then 2 times 3 gives me 6. Now, since I have a positive here, this will not affect anything in here. Therefore, I could get rid of those parentheses. So I do have a 5b, so I'm not just going to write 5b because it's technically a positive. So I just write positive 5b and a negative 2. Okay. Now that we have that, we have to now combine our like terms. So I'm going to use my highlighters again, and I'm just looking for stuff that I can combine. I got negative 14b. I got a positive 5b. I can combine those. Then I'm looking for another set of terms that I can combine. I see that I got a negative 6, which is a constant, and another constant of negative 2. I can combine those. Okay. Once again, I really encourage you to rewrite these so that it doesn't mess you up. So I'm just going to regroup all this. So I'm going to go negative 14b plus 5b, and then I have negative 6 and negative 2. Okay. And I'm going to use my highlighter once again just to kind of group this so I know what's happening here. That means I'm going to group these guys. I'm going to combine negative 14b plus 5b. And I'm also going to combine my negative 6 and negative 2. And we go through the same process again. So what I'm going to do is negative 14b plus 5b. So I'm looking at this and I ask myself, okay, one is negative, one is positive, so if the signs are not the same, I'm going to subtract. So I'm going to take 5 away from 14, which would give me 9, right? And then I ask myself, okay, so the saying is if the signs are not the same, we subtract and keep the sign of the biggest absolute value. So I got negative 14 and positive 5. Well, 14 has a higher absolute value, so I'm going to keep the symbol or the sign, which is negative. So it's negative 9, but I got to remember to keep the variable, negative 9b. Okay. Next step is to then go positive 6, or excuse me, a negative 6 and a negative 2. So I'm going to combine those, and that's going to give me negative 8. Okay. And that's my final solution here. And here we go. So my final answer is going to be negative 9b minus 8. Let's move on to the next one. Alright, so on the final example, we have subtracting the expression. So we have 5x plus 6 minus the sum of negative x plus 6. Okay? So it's weird. I don't know why it says loading, but whatever. Just a glitch, I guess. So I look at 5x plus 6. There's nothing in front here. So that tells me I can get rid of those parentheses. So I'm just going to rewrite that as 5x plus 6. Now, this is kind of what we were doing in chapter 1. I need to do the distributive property for this one. And let me grab a marker here. So what it means is that negative is going to affect everything inside those parentheses. So a negative times, so I've got a negative and a negative. That's going to become a positive. Positive what? Positive x. A negative and a positive over here is going to give me a negative, and that's just going to be a negative 6. So that negative right here, this symbol right here, it basically only affected the symbols inside, or it affected the signs inside the parentheses. Wow, couldn't spit that one out. Okay, now we do the same thing. We're going to combine like terms. Using my highlighters just to see what I got. I'm going to combine 5x and a positive x. I'm also going to combine now the constants here. I got a positive 6 and a negative 6. Okay, and then I'm going to group them together. So once again, I would highly encourage that you write this or reorder this. So rewrite this and reorder 5x plus x plus 6 minus 6. Okay, and then I'm going to grab my highlighter just so that I know what I'm grouping. So I got 5x plus x, and then I have plus 6 minus 6. Okay, and the last step is we're just going to simplify this. So we got 5x plus x. Remember that there's a 1 in front of that. Once again, once the variable is by itself, the coefficient is always 1. Okay, so 5 plus 1 gives me 6x. And then when we're trying to combine those, well, we got a positive 6 and a negative 6. Well, it gives me 0. So it basically cancels out. So my final answer for this example would be 6x. And that concludes the lesson for 3.2, adding and subtracting algebraic expressions. If you have any questions, please let me know. Once again, remember those rules that you learned in Unit 1? Well, you're going to need them for this section. Anyway, once again, if you have any questions, let me know. You've been awesome. I've been Mr. Merrill. Peace out, and I'm out in 3, 2, 1. And may the force be with you. Bye. I almost forgot.